The top 5 worst modern Pokemon card sets. That's what I'm going to delve in today's video. Now, videos quite often get the opposite. Love for the opposite comes about. We quite often see, the best modern Pokemon card sets, the best vintage Pokemon card sets, the best modern Pokemon card sets to invest in, the top 10 chase cards, 10 cards that are going to take off, 10 fantastic investments. But not often do we get the opposite, which is the worst Pokemon card sets. So I'm going to go over the 5 worst Pokemon card sets of the modern era. Now, I guess we need to ask ourselves, what exactly defines a bad Pokemon card set? And I guess we could talk about the opposite of what makes a good Pokemon card set. And I've talked about this fairly often on this channel, which makes a good Pokemon card set, and generally a good Pokemon card set, as long as supply and demand are in equilibrium or demand outweighs supply, we're going to see an investable set. And when we think about what makes a good one, I've talked about this, like I said, multiple times, I think it has a few things going for it. Generally, it has fan favorite Pokemon inside there. Generally, it has, I suppose, amazing or captivating artwork, something that draws people in. There's always high demand for the set, so the community sentiment towards the set is really, really strong. It generally has a really high overall set value. It generally also has a lot of depth of chase. So maybe it's the top 5 or the top 10. So it has a strong top 5 or top 10 chase cards. And the main chase generally is an absolute banger. Now, if we flip that on its head and go, well, what's a bad Pokemon card set? Okay, let's talk about the opposite. Generally, it's probably not going to have a fan favorite Pokemon as the chase card, or a fan favorite, I suppose, trainer like a waifu as the chase card. Generally, it's not going to have great artwork. It's not going to be in overall high demand, and the community sentiment towards the set is probably going to be pretty low. It's going to have a low overall set value. It's going to have low depth, so like a poor top 10 or poor top 5 chase cards, and there's not going to be that big hitting main chase card, like that expensive chase. It's just not going to have it. So that, in my opinion, probably defines a poor Pokemon card set. And generally those sets, unless they're printed really, really low, won't perform as well as a strong Pokemon card set when it comes to investability side of things. Now, before we jump into the top 5 worst, I just wanted to give a shout out to today's sponsor. It's actually my final video for a little while promoting these guys. We're going to link back up shortly, but it's the Shiny app. This is an amazing app. It's really clean. The creator of this app has been working on it for a long period of time, and he's amazing at coding. The data refreshes multiple times a day. You can add your whole singles collection in and your whole seal collection. It's really cool. You can give a 360 spin around of the single cards inside there. You can also add in your graded cards. It'll give you, PSA 10, 9, 8, down to 1, of course, Beckett, CGC. It'll track them with data. Adding your seal collection in is really great for us investors. We can see the total value of our collection, the percentage gains we've got. So it's a really, really cool app. I've transferred my whole collection in there, and yeah, give it a go. Anyway, on to today's video. Let's jump straight into number 5. The 5th worst Pokemon card set of the modern era. And this goes out to a Sun and Moon set, which is actually Crimson Invasion. Now, the total set value, which isn't as low as the others in here, is $291. The main chase card inside the set is a waifu or a trainer card, Lusamine. It's at $33.91. So the best possible card you can pull from this set is $33. This is raw US pricing, by the way. Now, there's also only 6 cards raw over $10 US. So it has a really, really weak depth of chase. There's not a fan favorite Pokemon, or barely any fan favorite Pokemon chilling as chase cards. There's, I guess, the community sentiment towards this set is that it was the weakest or one of the weakest Sun and Moon sets. What's really interesting though, buying a booster box of this is not cheap. It's crazy to think that, you could pull the whole total set and it's not even going to give you the booster box price. So there you go. That's number 5 on our list. Number 4, and this maybe sounds a bit harsh because, a lot of, I suppose, the community sentiment towards this is actually okay. But the numbers don't lie, and it's a Scarlet and Violet set, which is Obsidian Flames. The total set value is only $240. The number 1 chase card inside the set, which I actually quite like. I don't think it's as nice as the Paldean Fates Charizard, but I don't mind it. The artwork's pretty good on it. It's only $43.50 though. Now, this is the bit of the outlier though, isn't it? Like, it does have a fan favorite Pokemon representing the box and as the main chase card, but there's only 4 cards over $10. So I think this really highlights a couple of points when it comes to, what makes a strong Pokemon card set, or in this instance, what makes a bad Pokemon card set is, the strongest or best chase card that you can pull from this set is quite low. The value is quite low. And there's not much, if any, depth to this set when it comes to chase cards. There are some beautiful artworks in there, don't get me wrong, like that Ninetales is absolutely stunning. I'm not bagging out the set, I'm just going off the numbers. This set doesn't present well with numbers. However, the community sentiment towards this set isn't too bad. Number 3 on the list, and this is a bit of a throwback to old school times, and that is Steam Siege from the XY era. It's been touted as the worst Pokemon card set ever made. It's only got $173 worth of total set value. The number 1 chase card inside there is the secret rare Gardevoir at $31, and there is actually only 3 cards above $10. It is a poor Pokemon card set, this poor XY Steam Siege. Now, the only reason I didn't rank it 2 is because it interestingly has almost gained that notoriety around it that, yeah, we know it's the worst, it's the ugly duckling of the family, but the community's almost rallied behind it a little bit because of that. And, booster box prices for this set aren't cheap. And it gives really, I suppose, a shout out to how strong the Pokemon card sealed product is as a whole. Even though you could have one of the worst, if not the worst set almost ever produced, sealed box prices still become a collectible of their own. And, prices of those aren't cheap. Like, it's not dear, of course. It's, it's no Team Up, or it's no Cosmic Eclipse or Ultra Prism. It's none of those sort of prices. It's certainly in the XY era, no Phantom Forces or Flashfire. But interestingly, they're still not cheap boxes. Would you have beaten, investing in Steam Siege? Would you have beaten it in the S&P 500 or investing in shares? Yeah, probably likely, but still interesting how much it's gone up for such a weak set. Now, number 2 on the list, this is the only holiday set, which means it doesn't have a booster box, of course, and that is Pokémon GO. Now, this actually has a higher set value than Steam Siege. It's at $198 total set value. The chase card's worse, though, which is the Mewtwo V-Star Rainbow card. It's only $29 US. There is 5 cards over $10, but the community sentiment towards this set is just so weak. I think most people, definitely, other than number 1 on this list, listed it as the worst Sword and Shield set. Definitely the worst holiday Sword and Shield set. It could have been something really, really special. The logo with Pokemon Go was probably too big. Like, it took away from the card a little bit, just like I think the 25th anniversary sticker did. I think it was just too big for the card. Like, it stood out too much and took away from the artwork on the cards. And overall, the community sentiment, like I was saying, towards this set is just super, super low. And, with only 5 cards over $10, it's a really, really weak set in that regards. Now, the number 1 worst modern Pokemon card set, that is Darkness Ablaze. Total set value, this has the lowest total set value out of any modern Pokemon card set. It's $168 US total set value. That is only a touch more than the total booster box price. Like, you could pull, which is impossible, of course, but you could pull every single card from this set in a booster box, and it's still pretty much only worth the price of the booster box. That's crazy. And the top chase card, only $22.68, which is a Charizard. And get this, there's only 1 card over $10, which is the main chase card, Charizard. 1 card over $10. There is no other Pokemon card, either holiday set or main set in history, that only has 1 card over $10. Man, that's bad, isn't it? And look, the set's held up by one of the most fan favorite Pokemon of all time, Charizard, like arguably only behind Pikachu, if not level with Pikachu. The other thing is, though, interestingly, like, this set, which was popular when it first came out and ended up getting overprinted because, it was that COVID time when it was really hard to measure supply and demand, and it was overprinted. Supply outweighed demand in the end, and newer sets come along, of course, Chilling Reign and Battle Styles, and of of course, the Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike side of things, 25th anniversary, and this got left on shelves, and supply is dwindling extremely slowly. But as it is dwindling, again, box prices are going up. Even Darkness Ablaze, which has one card over $10, booster box sealed prices are increasing. Yes, very slowly, but they are increasing. Again, it's just testament to how good or how solid a sealed booster box investment can be, even from an incredibly poor set. Well, there you have it. That is the 5 worst modern Pokemon card sets of all time. Let me know down in the comments if you agree. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz, and I'll catch everyone next time.